Okay, so starting it off, so passive and active tax rates. You know, when people look to buy property, often taxes isn't their first consideration. It's, you know, can I afford it? Can I get lending? You know, is the rent roll and cash flow going to make sense? But, you know, being a tax geek, the first thing I think about is okay, what type of tax are we looking at for this piece of real estate or this project? And that's really understanding how you want it to be structured from a tax perspective. That's your biggest kind of component. And so when we think about that, we look at types of income. So the first thing to understand is rental income is considered passive. We'll get to what that means, but it's important to understand that. There's exceptions for if you have 5 full-time employees or if you have commercial real estate that you have leased to an associated corporation. But other than that, we're mainly in the passive world when we think about rents. And when we look at the bottom of this slide, you know, you can see here, well, what does that matter? Well, when we think of active income as opposed to passive, that's more like manufacturing, land flips, in terms of our discussion today, assignments, you know, renovation and immediate flip, things like that would be considered active income, while things like rents would be considered passive, similar to capital gains or things like that. And so why does that matter? Well, at a corporate level, active income gets this favored 12.2% on the first $500,000 of income, and then 26.5% on any dollar over $500,000 of income. However, passive income at the corporate level doesn't get that same benefit. And so it's taxed at 50.17, subject to this concept of refundable tax, which is really outside of the scope of this conversation. But if you look at the personal tax rates, you know, the top rate is really 53.5% on any dollar over 220. So we have marginal tax rate system in Canada. So it gears all the way up to 53.5% on any dollar over 220. And what that's meant to demonstrate is for rents, and this is an often misconception sometimes, is that you're really no better off having it inside of a corporation rather than not.